up, guys? It's your boy, Barça Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours, where there is a lot of topics to discuss. Firstly, the big one. Everyone and their mothers agree that Nico Williams has to be signed this summer. Even Deco has come around after him twerking for Luis Diaz. There's an utmost confidence in Barcelona that once we return to the 1-1 rule, we will go out there and activate the release clause of Nico Williams and sign him. We'll give you guys all the details around that, and also around our midfield reinforcement, where Paredes is the latest midfielder to offer his services to Barcelona following Rabiot over the past few days as well, but the club still do like Merino and Onana ahead of that option. Also have some updates around Jaden Philogene and his operation completely falling through to Barcelona. Huge updates on the futures of both Joao's, Cancelo and Felix. Also some exit updates as well on Roberto, Mikayil Faye, renewal update on Araujo, big injury update on Frenkie de Jong, of course your typical FFP update, and finally some big news in regards to the future of Ansu Fati. Hansi Flick has going to give him the green light to have a chance in preseason, and now comes down to Ansu Fati on his performances, whether or not he'll have a spot in the first team next season or not. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try again to get to 250 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated, and of course make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 48 hours. Firstly, yet again, another midfielder offering his service to Barcelona, but this one's quite interesting. Tony Juan Martins came out saying that Leandro Paredes has been offered to Barcelona. The player has a contract with Roma until June 2025, and Barcelona considers other options right now like Amadou, Onana and Mikel Merino to be the head of him. If not them, they would prefer a younger and inexpensive option that could be considered. So the club like, you know what, it's not too bad, but we have other priorities still. Now, to be honest, again, I kind of brought this up in the last video with Rabiot. Worst case scenario, him or no one, I would take him. Honestly speaking, bit of Argentina bias, you could say. I would take Paredes over Rabiot. I know Paredes is older. I know there's more of a medium term with Rabiot, but I don't know. I just like the dog mentality of Paredes. He's someone who can, play in the pivot, but someone that can do the pivot job well when there's good midfielders ahead of him. I think when there's a balanced midfield, or like a midfield of the level that's equal to his, he struggles quite a bit, but with the late players in front of him, he tends to do the job quite well. Great on penalties as well, even though that's probably irrelevant to his position. But, I mean, if Roma would take, maybe under 10 million euros for him as a bid for, being 1 year left on his deal, I wouldn't mind that. I'd rather take him, spend an extra few million on lower wages, and sign Rabiot for free on very high wages. That's just my perspective. Again, could definitely say Argentina bias in me, so we'll wait and see if anything turns out in this, but I think it's very unlikely that Perez will join Barcelona. Again, we need someone with experience. Now, of course he has experience, but we need someone with experience at a high level that can fit into this team for the medium and long term, not someone like Perez who can come in short term, patch a hole for 3 seconds. I mean, if you could compare it to the Guido Rodriguez signing, I'd much rather have Paredes than Guido Rodriguez if Hansi Flick is looking for someone like that, but I don't think he is right now, especially with Casado getting a spot in the first team. So this transfer, very likely to unhappen, but nonetheless though, Paredes, alongside of course Rabiot 2 days ago, has offered himself to Barcelona as a potential signing this summer. But the signing that you, me, your mother, my mother, your dog, my dog want Barcelona to conduct and complete this summer is, of course, the signing of Nico Williams. And we've now entered officially the hype train, because now we're in July, we're closer to FFP, transfer window officially open. The hype is starting to build from the media and also from the boardroom that's being portrayed to the media. Let's get cracking. Fernando Polo Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona are convinced that they will be able to undertake the signing of Nico Williams. He could cost between 25 and 30 million on the financial accounts per season if signed for 6 years, paying his 58 million euro release clause, and with a salary slightly higher than what he currently gets at Athletic Club. Although Deco likes Luis Diaz the most, he also likes Nico, and the Spanish winger is the one who the Barcelona board as a whole likes the most for his youth, media appeal, and charisma. Barcelona assures that there will be positive news regarding returning to the 1-1 rule this month, and that will allow the club to sign Nico Williams. Essentially, once we return to the 1-1 rule, the club's plan is to go absolutely all out for Nico Williams. Now, while I do agree with that, I have to highlight again, we do not have an effing pivot. If you want to go next season without a pivot, you want to really rely on Cancelo and, you know, bring back Roberto and then have De Jong and Gundogan sit there, by all means, we're gonna flop. But that's, you know, the objective. Again, I don't think the fan base has been this hyped about a signing since Jules Koundé in 2022. Before that, I would say Frenkie de Jong in 2019. This is the ideal, perfect signing, and looks like Barcelona are in fact coming around to that. Now, Tony Juan Marti gave an exclusive to Rishad Rahman, of course, on Twitter, and he came out saying that understand that Nico Williams prefers a move to Barcelona over Premier League clubs. Personal terms yet to be 100% agreed with the Spanish winger, and club president Joan Laporta has now given his final green light to try and achieve this signing. Of course, we talked about in the last video how Laporta's dream signing is now Nico Williams, and he now officially gave the green light to go out and pursue the signing. And finally, Candecer have come out saying that Barcelona sees Nico Williams' release clause of 58 million euros as an opportunity, although Athletic Club are not willing to negotiate. They ensure they will return to the one-man rule this summer. It is clear that he is Barcelona's clear objective and priority, and the club is doing their homework. Barcelona are going for Nico Williams because they consider him an exciting element to be added to Hansi Flick's team, a quality player on the left wing. They would like to have the pairing of Nico and Lamine Yamal for Spain for Barcelona. Listen, I know the club what they're going to do. They're going to first try and make a little offer, maybe a little bit above his release clause that we can pay in installments and all that crap. There's going to be negotiations prior to us potentially activating the release clause. Now, if we activate the release clause, I see it very difficult for Barcelona to do other transfer activities in excess of 50 million euros, because simply doing deals in installments benefits Barcelona a lot because of the lack of, you know, funds that we have right now. But giving all those funds up immediately for Nico Williams is a big risk from the club's financial perspective, but I think it's a risk that has to be taken. Again, I'm sounding like a broken record here, but you cannot get more of a perfect signing this summer than Nico Williams. Listen, me in January, go look at my videos like, oh, Nico Williams, he could have been for free. You know, we can't spend 50 million on someone who was free 2 months ago. I have completely turned around, full circle, pay the money. He is beyond worth it, and I was saying this pre-Euros as well. I was saying this back in April and May time, because he's really impressing with Athletic Club in those Copa del Rey matches that of course pushed them to win the Copa del Rey in the league as well. He was really impressing me, and just the mold, the style of play, everything just fits what Barcelona needs to perfection. And again, the Euros and what he's done now, the hype that there is around him has just boosted him up like no tomorrow. So we'll wait and see how things do turn out. But again, the club's main objective this summer, without a shadow of a doubt, number one priority, forget about a midfielder now from the club's perspective, the number one priority this summer is to go out and try to sign Nico Williams. Now, a new name has been linked with Barcelona in regards to the left wing position, of course, if Nico Williams does not arrive. And it's a name that I really like, and also a surprising name as well. It is Maxi Araujo. He could be the third Araujo in our team next season. You have Maxi, Julian, and of course, Ronald. The source isn't great. It's coming in from El Chiquito, but it's one of their journalists that's more so not in the joking side of it, but a bit more on the serious side. And he came out saying that Maxi Araujo is Barcelona's plan B if Nico Williams does not arrive. Deco is closely following the Uruguayan winger, who has a release clause of 20 million euros. Now, he's absolutely doing fantastically well at the Copa America, but of course had that terrible neck injury against USA. So we'll wait and see what the developments are with that. But based on what I saw in the first two games and 20 minutes, very impressive winger, very sparky, you know, has that flair to him, can dribble really well, of course scored the cracking goal, but I think apart from that, his shooting isn't the best, I would say, but a cheeky little option, if I do say the least, if from the 2 games I saw in the Copa America. So I mean, you can say recency bias, whatever the case may be. I never watched his season, of course, but from the 2 games I saw in Copa America, not too bad for 20 million. Again, I'd rather go for I'd take Maxi Araujo over Joao Felix. I'll tell you that right now, for free, cheaper as well. But we'll wait and see. I don't think there's anything concrete, as Barcelona are just so honed in right now on Nico Williams. But again, if that operation does fail, keep your eyes on Maxi Araujo potentially being a name that will be analyzed. But a player in the left wing position that Barcelona are very unlikely to sign is Jaden Philogene, as potentially all the reports to begin with could have been a scam. Now, Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Jaden Philogene is set to make a decision on his future very soon. It won't be a long summer saga. Barcelona's interest is there, and they're open to getting him on loan with the buy option, and Premier League clubs are also interested. The Athletic also came out saying that Ipswich have made a 35 million Great British pound bid for add-on and plus add-ons for wholesale duo Jacob Greaves and also Jaden Philogene, who's been linked with Barcelona, and again talks are underway in that regards. Now, following this bid coming in and talks not advancing but in progress with Ipswich, Fabrizio Romano came out again saying that the Jaden Philogene operation is now complicated for Barcelona, with the Hull City winger prioritizing a move to the Premier League instead. I think that's good for his career as well, especially coming to Barcelona as second string, third string. You're not going to develop your career, so he's now prioritizing a move to the Premier League, although he would love to join Barcelona, but with Barcelona's interest not really too strong and him wanting to make a decision, it's led down to Barcelona dropping out of the race. Now, following this from Fabrizio Romano, Gigantes, of course, Ronald Araujo's outlet, came out saying that Jaden Philogene is not close to joining Barcelona at all. In fact, Barcelona have never shown genuine interest in him. The winger would like to join the Catalans, but his agents are aware that Nico Williams is the absolute priority. Again, makes sense, but he says here that Barcelona were never really interested in Jaden Philogene, and apparently he goes on to say that Jaden Philogene's agent showed up to the Barcelona offices unannounced, began a photo shoot in the car park, and was eventually asked to leave by security. The name of the player is completely unknown by the Barcelona directors, with the club mystified as to why they are being linked with him. It's believed to be a PR exercise by the player's agency to link him with Barcelona in order to drive up his demand and price. Barcelona's one and only option for the wing is Nico Williams. Bloody hell. Now, again, it's only Jonathan Merino saying this. I don't know if it's true or not, but he links the photos as well of his agent there. He's saying, look, his agent was there taking photos, never met with Barcelona whatsoever. Now, of course, there were these videos that Gigantes released 2 weeks ago about his agent arriving in Barcelona to begin talks, but apparently now that's just for vibe, just to really get in everyone's heads. Which, you know what? Fair play to him. That is an absolute masterclass. Yeah, for Mr. Romano tweeting about Barcelona interested in Jaden Philogene, and hey, the Catalan media talking about him, definitely drove up the price. We know that Crystal Palace, Everton, and Ipswich are the three teams that are really pushing to sign him this summer for the Premier League. So, I mean, wish him all the best. Never Barcelona quality, never someone that I really was keen on, even if he was alone in a buy option. I would much rather have other options that we had. I'd rather bring back Joao Felix than sign Jaden Philogene, if I'm being completely honest. So it looks like this operation will not happen, and it could have all been just a PR stunt, and you couldn't even say a masterclass by his agent to drive up his price and demand. Now, an operation that Barcelona do want to undertake this summer is, of course, the continuations of both the Joaos. Again, 100% confirmed. Barcelona, Joaos, Jorge Mendes, the players themselves, everyone wants to continue where they were last season. That is, of course, at Barcelona, and Hansi Flick, of course, has given the green light for them to continue at the club. Now it's all down to negotiations with Man City and Atletico Madrid, and we do have an update on both their futures. Firstly, on Cancelo, which again I'll tell you guys right now for free, is a bit more promising than it is with Felix. Now, the Manchester Evening News have come out saying that Man City are not going to send Joao Cancelo back on loan for a second year. If Barcelona want him, they have to buy him. Alex Pentel from Relivo also confirmed this, saying that Man City do not want to loan Joao Cancelo again and will only consider a sale. They've already received some offers for the player as well, most likely from Saudi Arabia. Barcelona is trying hard to get the Portuguese player on loan again, as they have prioritized other positions to spend money on. This is where we could potentially see a loan with a buy obligation come into play, so that way Barcelona can delay the inevitable of paying for Joao Cancelo. Again, with the current fullback situation, I wouldn't mind keeping Cancelo. Again, he started for Portugal in every single game this Euros, I believe, him except for the game against Georgia. He's been great for them. Again, last 2 months of Barcelona, very, very sus, but the first 8 months were absolutely sensational. He provided that raw fullback, the one who can play both on the right and the left, attacking-wise, fantastic, defensive, a bit questionable in top games, but against those medium and lower sides, definitely someone who can do the job. I think for 20 million, it's an absolute steal. But again, if the club don't do it, I won't be super bothered like I probably would have been back in February, you could even say, but I really hope the club at least try and get this deal done. Don't say, oh, it's too expensive and leave. I would try to get the deal done. If they can't, then that's completely fine. But the Joao that's taken an absolute tumble over the past 48 hours is Joao Felix. Now, firstly, Fernando Polo came out saying that as of now, Joao Felix continuity at Barcelona is difficult. Rafinha and Ansu Fati are blocking him, and Barcelona are looking for a left winger. However, Felix is liked by the club. His agent is Jorge Mendes, and Simeone is against his return, so the situation can change and nothing can be completely ruled out. When I saw this, when Fernando Polo said Ansu Fati, I'm like, yup, this is the remontada that I want. Of course, we'll talk about Ansu Fati later on in the video. Listen, with Felix, it comes down to if you can keep him for basically for free, sure, if not bid him. Now, there are reports coming out from multiple medias from Portugal, from the UK, linking Felix with Benfica and Aston Villa, respectively, very, very heavily as well. Apparently, Benfica have already made a 30 million bid for Joao Felix, which is, 20 million more than I would make a bid for him. So, listen, he's a good player. I just don't think that Barcelona is going to work. Yes, his agent, Jorge Mendes, he's going to try and do his best. That's why I think he's gotten the green light from Hansi Flick and stuff like that, because Barcelona just want to keep him to make Jorge Mendes happy. But if they can't do it, then hopefully Jorge Mendes can still, be on the good side of Barcelona. But honestly speaking, would not mind losing Felix whatsoever. To be honest, I think we can all agree, me, you, the board, Deco, Hansi Flick, if you can only keep one of the Joaos, it's 100% Joao Cancelo. With Felix, he's an absolute, not luxury signing, but he's just a cool player to have, pretty much. For vibes, for your cool Instagram pictures, your cheeky, top performances here and there, big goals, 4 of them in the season. That's pretty much all he provides you. He's not someone that's going to play week in, week out to be a starting player at Barcelona as well, but again, if Ansu Fati can perform in preseason, we could see something happen. Again, Rafinha would definitely keep him over Felix, and I'll keep him over Ansu Fati as well. Got to be consistent on being, 100% honest here. So, we'll wait and see with Joao Felix. I kind of hope we do bottle this, because again, just the thought of Nico Williams and Ansu on that left-hand side is just, dare I say, orgasmic. So, we'll wait and see how things turn out with the Joaos. Right now, Felix is looking very complicated and difficult due to personnel and also the price as well. With Cancelo, it's more clear what City are going to be asking for. It's going to come down, of course, to reaching an agreement. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to be leaving Barcelona over the past 48 hours. First up is El Capitano. Well, not anymore, because right now, on paper, not a Barcelona player, but it is Sergi Roberto. Luis Rojo Marca has come out saying that Sergi Roberto has given Barcelona a deadline of July the 10th to resolve his future. After this date, the deadline may be extended or any offer may be accepted. Roma, Juventus, and Inter are showing great interest in Roberto. So he's kind of said, look, you know why July 10th, of course? That is, of course, the date that all players who are not on international duty have to come back and report to Sociedad Deportiva Joan Gamper for medical checkups. And I told you guys this in the last video. If you see Roberto there doing checkups and training and all of that, he's a billion % staying. I am convinced that once Barcelona return to the 1-1 rule, Roberto will stay. Again, I'm not in favor of him staying. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence. He stays cool. If not cool, does not bother me either way from my perspective, based on Roberto's last season, based on the money that he's on, based on his role in the squad. He stays cool, doesn't, it's also cool, I don't care. But I would bet a lot of money on Roberto continuing at the club. But we'll wait and see how things turn out. Nothing 100% decided or definitive yet, but he has set a personal deadline to Barcelona. After that deadline, he may extend it, or maybe he'll look at other offers and really contemplate leaving Barcelona officially. Now, another player's future that is also very much in the air right now is the future of Mikayil Faye. All we know for certain right now is, as things currently stand, he will be taking part in the first team pre-season training camp in America, but his future after that is absolutely in doubt. Javi Miguel came out saying that Mikayil Faye will only stay at Barcelona, of course past preseason, if he is guaranteed minutes at the club, something which Hansi Flick cannot guarantee as of now, and I could not agree more. Faye is basically doing a Marc Guiu. He wants guaranteed minutes just for his potential. That's not how it works at Barcelona. We don't give guaranteed minutes. You have to earn it via your performances. Lad, you have not even played a second for the first team, and you're demanding first team minutes. Hit the high road. This is not the mentality to have if you want to succeed at Barcelona. You go out there preseason, you work your heart out. If you don't get guaranteed minutes, it's up to you. Okay, I want to go play, I'll go somewhere else. You can't come to Barcelona and say, hey, you want me to stay? I want first team minutes. That's not how it works. You have to earn it, and then we have to present it to you. You don't ask for it. So, with this kind of mentality, I don't think Mikayil Faye is succeeding at Barcelona, in the sense that I don't think he'll continue at Barcelona post preseason. Again, with the amount of center backs that we do have, and Hansi Flick wanting to keep Eric Garcia, according to reports as of late, it's very difficult for him. Apparently, he also doesn't want to play left back as well. He wants to stay only as a center back, according to reports as well. So, we'll wait and see with Mikayil Faye. I think it's very difficult for him to stay past preseason. Now, another center back's future that is also in doubt, maybe not as much in doubt as Mikayil Faye, is Ronald Araujo. Fernando Polo came out saying that Araujo, with 2 years left on his contract, has attracted interest from clubs like Chelsea, Bayern, and Manchester United. Despite this, Barcelona emphasized that Araujo is now for sale, and the club also emphasizes that if Araujo wants to leave, he has to communicate it clearly to the club and bring an offer on the table of more than 100 million euros. Now, a couple things here. Number one, if he wants to jump ship to Chelsea, by all means. Bayern Munich are not interested. Manchester United are not interested. Man United are signing De Ligt. Bayern signing Jonathan Tah and Bayer Leverkusen. Both these two clubs are not going to sign Araujo. I will tell you that right now for free. I think Fernando Polo just using their names there for clicks and interactions. That's it. Chelsea could be interested. They are looking for a defender, and if they have the money to chuck on Barcelona in terms of the transfer fee and then Araujo on wages, by all means, this operation could happen. But if Araujo himself is going to choose to jump ship from being the third captain of Football Club Barcelona to go to that waste youth club Chelsea that are absolutely all over the place, finishing 6th, 8th, and 10th in the past 3 seasons, by all means, crack on. That just tells me that your mentality isn't top tier. I think, again, once Copa America ends from the Araujo side, they will hopefully sit down and maybe be a bit more communicative with Barcelona. Again, there's no real rush per se since he has 2 years left on his deal, but of course, you want to lock down his future, especially now with this summer being his highest value, highest time to cash in or cash out on him. Instead of, next summer, he'll probably be available for, I would say, 50, 60 million, so you're going to lose nearly half his valuation, which of course makes sense a year later, year left on his contract. But we'll wait and see what happens with Araujo. I'm still fairly calm on the situation. I think only things will get intensified once he comes back from Copa America. Now, we also have some updates in regards to players staying at Barcelona, and the first one, I'm gassed about this. There's a reason why I put him on the thumbnail. It is Ansu Fati. Mundo Deportivo have come out saying that Hansi Flick believes in the capabilities of Ansu Fati and wants to see him in preseason. Ansu Fati is totally focused on Barcelona and wants to succeed at the club. His father, Borja Fati, told Jorge Mendes not to listen to any offers. Jose Merino was even interested in bringing him to Fenerbahce. Pause right here. Borja Fati, you absolute well lad. He was the one who pushed for the move last summer, and now he's saying, "Oh, let my son stay." Whoa, whoa, whoa. Anyways, Ansu Fati leaving on loan this summer is not logical. Barcelona want to sign a winger this summer, but he also has the opportunity to prove his quality in preseason. The club will bet on him. Jorge Mendes has now been told not to listen to any offers for Ansu Fati. Deco had an hour-long chat with the player and told him that both the club and Hansi Flick are counting on him. Everything now depends on Ansu Fati, and he has to work hard. That's all you can ask for. I tell you what, if he flops, then I'm selling my stocks so quickly in Ansu. Again, this is all. I've been saying this now for the past 2 months. Just get your chance. Get on that plane to America, and it's all in your grasp on your performances. Nothing else will stop you. Again, Ferran Torres could be an offer coming in for him. Joao Felix is looking complicated right now. You want to bring in a left winger. You need, of course, coverage and competition. The season is long. You need 2 players per position. Nico and Ansu on the left wing is absolute pure and utter orgasmic. Now, Alex Pentel from Relivo came out saying that the club has decided to give Ansu Fati a new chance. Sporting department has given the youngster total confidence and assured him that he will have to perform in preseason in order to earn a spot in the squad next season. Now, also Mikel came out saying that Ansu Fati underwent physical tests at the training center under supervision of Barcelona's new physical trainer Julio Toulouse, and the sensations are positive. He passed the exams with high grades. Now, apparently these exams took place about 24 to 48 hours ago as of recording this video, so that's of course on the positive side, but looks like Barcelona gonna give him the go-ahead for preseason, which again I think is very, very important. If you perform as well, we have too much of an overbooking in the team. You can maybe move him on for a high sell-on value since he performed well in preseason. Preseason it benefits us in both ways. If he performs well, we can keep him. Great. If he performs well, we can't keep him. It will increase and bring in some hype for potential exit, whether it's going to be a loan, even though they said the loan is not possible, but sell or whatever the case may be. So we'll wait and see on Ansu. Come on, we all know the quality of Ansu. We've seen it back in 2019, 2020, 2021. He was, for a solid month, he was the best player in Barcelona with Messi in the squad. Of course, on form, not on quality and stuff like that. So we know the capabilities of Ansu, just needs some confidence. Again, he shouldn't have jumped ship last summer in hindsight, of course, but hopefully now he gets his full and utter dedication to Barcelona and impresses everyone during preseason. Now, a player who is guaranteed already a first-team spot next season, despite the fact he's not participated, of course, in preseason yet, It is Alex Valle. Now, Franco Ratsen Sport came out saying the plan is to have Alex Valle and Alejandro Balde to be the two left backs for next season. The player already knows this and hopes that the club won't have any problems with FFP so that he can be registered in La Liga. The club intends to activate the clause in his contract, which will increase his release clause from 8 million euros to 30 million euros. If it's not activated by August the 1st, his release clause will drop from 8 million euros to 3 million euros. Of course, that clause we talked about in the last video as well, but apparently Barcelona going to be backing Balde and Valle to be the left backs for next season. It looks like that means that Hector Fort will really have a honed in focus on Barça Athletic. Maybe he'll leave on loan Hector Fort. There was of course that interest that I talked about in the last video from Alaves as well, so that could be on the rounds of a possibility, but I would keep Hector Fort, especially with, we know, if you have one injury to your left back or right back, he comes straight in, so I'd maybe keep him until January, then we'll see how things turn out. But again, I think Alex Valle still needs to prove himself, not only to the coaching staff and not only to the sporting sector, but also the fans as well. So preseason will be a good time for that. As the thing is with preseason, that Balde is coming back from being out for 6 months, so he's going to need all the minutes he can get. So I don't think Valle will have too many minutes in preseason, if I'm being totally honest. But again, it's down to him now to convince, and we'll wait and see how things turn out. Or does he even need convincing at this point? Has it already been decided no matter what? So we'll wait and see. I think this hopefully means that we'll invest money elsewhere as well, not really to focus too much on left back. And I have no problem with this, whether you wanted to trust Fort or Valle to be the competition and coverage for Balde. I had no issue with either one of them, to be honest. So wait and see how it pans out. But looks like Alex Valle already has a guaranteed spot in the first team next season. Let's now discuss some injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. Just one update, and it's not looking good, bruv. It is on Frenkie de Jong. Now, the ARA Sport have come out saying that Frenkie de Jong's preseason right now is at risk. He consistently experiences ankle discomfort whenever the workload intensifies. The issue he faces are challenging to identify, treat, and prevent from becoming chronic. Of course, the club were worried that Frenkie de Jong was going to participate in the Euros due to a chronic injury, but it looks like the chronic injury was ruled out, and of course he pulled out of the Euros. Comments in the post-match press conference as well that he'll be fit around the end of the tournament, so of course he's going to be no benefit to the Dutch national team. That's why they let him go. I don't know, man. This is not looking good. Hopefully this means we can maybe renew his contract a bit easier since he's going to be injured and stuff like that. There won't be too much interest in him, so hopefully the club can capitalize on that aspect. But Frenkie de Jong next season, it's going to be a big blow for Barcelona. But this does mean now that Gundogan could be getting significant minutes in behind Pedri in the 10 and not, competing with Pedri to play in the 10. But it's a big blow for Barcelona. But I'm still in my heart, in my mind, still confident that he'll make preseason. It's just now down to whether or not he'll make it as someone who's fit at the beginning or fit later on. So we'll wait and see how things turn out, and also wait for further confirmation as well. But a lot of injury worries and reports coming out about the future of Frenkie de Jong's ankle. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past 48 hours. And on the topic of preseason, that has been a hefty topic in this video, we do have an update on the youngsters that will begin training on July the 5th with the first team, and ones to watch out for in the preseason flight, of course, to America. This is coming in from Mercedero Mundo Deportivo. He came out saying the youngsters who will start in the preseason training under Flick on July the 10th are as follows: Astraga, Cochin, Fort, Faye, Martin, Bernal, Casado, does he really count? I don't know, but Casado, Unai Hernandez, Alex Garrido, Noah Darvik, and Angel Arecron. Now, a couple of changes, of course. Alex Garrido got injured, so he's now out for preseason, which of course sucks for him, so he will not be included in this list. I'm surprised that Gerard Martin is in this list. I believe he is a left back, if I'm not mistaken. You already have Valle and Balde who are going to be desperate for minutes, so what's the point of bringing him unless you're going to chuck one of the three at right back, since the only right back we'll have is Julian Araujo. Cancelo's not signed yet. Conde's going to be on a vacation from the Euros, so that's going to be an interesting one, but very exciting list. I'm very excited to see, of course, Noah Darvik. I'm very excited to see Casado, being a first-team player. Of course, a lot of hype around Mikayil Faye. Angel Alecron, has he recovered from that injury or not? A lot of hype around Cochin, of course, we talked about in the last video. So a very, very good list, and we'll wait and see how they all perform during those key moments at the beginning of the season. Now, on the topic of the new season, we are still waiting for the new kits to officially drop from Barcelona's side. We do have some updates about that. Fernando Polo, Mundo Deportivo, came out saying that Barcelona are making efforts to bring forward the launch of the kit for the 24-25 season to beginning of next week, Monday or Tuesday. The date initially planned, of course, was July the 18th. The reason for this is the team will begin working under Hansi Flick on the 10th, and the players called up will have to wear the new training clothes corresponding to the new season. If the release cannot be brought up forward, then it will be kept back for the week of the July the 15th, of course, a week before they fly out to America. Memorabilia on Twitter, of course, top source in regards to the kits around Barcelona, saying that the Barcelona shirts will be available in Barca stores on July the 18th. That is confirmed. Whether they're going to be released beforehand or on that date still remains to be seen. Again, this delay has been, it should have came out, I would say, the second or last week of June, so we're very, very behind in this regard. Again, that's due to printing issues with these Spotify changing their logo, and Nike did not catch that. I mean, surprise, surprise. But we'll see what happens with the Nike deal as well. But again, it's going to come out. We know what it looks like, so there's really no rush at this point. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is in regards to financial fair play and returning to the 1-1 rule. Before we give you guys an update, we have some quotes coming in from the president of La Liga, Javier Tebas, and of course, every time he does some sort of big, media thing or whatever, gets asked about Barcelona, and he always answers. He was asked on the situation in Barcelona, and he said that this year, for all the last few years, this is the easiest for Barcelona. Barcelona knows what they have to do to bring in players. They know their financial fair play issue. They have a good command of it. They're coming out of their complicated financial situation, and we will see if they can resolve those few issues they have in order to add important signings they expect. There was one essential fact. 3 years ago, Barcelona had the first team wage bill at 650 million, and today it's at 450 million. Something that is more manageable for the team like Barcelona. It is the level of Real Madrid in the teams of wage bill, but Madrid have done their homework well for many years, and that's why they can sign players. So again, if you think about it, to be fair, Javier Tebas is pretty much saving the club, because if we kept that high wage bill for all this time, we would be absolutely effed. He's forcing Barcelona to lower their wage bill, which again kind of helped the club as well. And he's saying the reason why Madrid can always sign players because they're in a very healthy wage bill. They're in a good, suitable wage bill for their club. And apparently he's saying their wage bill is very close to 450 million euros, which is quite surprising for the players they have. Vinicius, Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, Tchouaméni, Camavinga. I have no idea what they're on per se, but for those kind of players and they having that kind of wage bill, credit to them. So again, he's basically saying that once Barcelona returns to the 1-1 rule, easy summer for them. They can operate with, next to almost freedom. Now, in regards to FFP, Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona are optimistic that they can reach the 1-1 rule in this summer transfer window and make signings. Marca came out saying that Joao is convinced that Barcelona can reach the 1-1 rule to be able to make signings, but there's still things left to do. The reality is much more complicated. The club has to make money before satisfying the rule. So again, we're waiting for the liberal money to come in. Hopefully we can get the renewal with Nike over the line as well. Hopefully when those two are officially announced and confirmed, we can go back to the 1-1 rule. But all we're hearing right now from the club is like, oh, we're going to come back to 1-1 rule 100%. We just need some more time. Like I told you guys, we were last second as FC. I am not surprised beyond belief it's gone even to July at this point. But again, all I can reiterate is get back to the 1-1 rule. If we're not in the 1-1 rule before the Euros, at least the final day of the Euros, unless I think the final's on the 14th or 15th. What's the date? 14th. So if we're at least in the 1-1 rule by the 15th of July, you know what? Euros is ending. You can refresh a week before 2 weeks before the plane leaves for America. It's a good point, I would say. But if they have to wait till after that, then it's just like we're just leaving everything last second. So we'll wait and see. But I think again, optimism and confidence, being transmitted from Barcelona. We just have to sit here, watch, and pray. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing, firstly, of course, is your thoughts on the signing of Nico Williams. Do you think it will happen or not? Second, your thoughts on the midfield reinforcement. Are you looking at the good option of Paredes with good eyes? Would you rather go for Merino or Onana? Thirdly, your thoughts on Araujo's renewal. Are you worried or confident that it will happen? And finally, your thoughts on Ansu Fati's chance in preseason. Think he'll be a first team member by September or not? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.